Hey, what's up? So this video is for Moonz, Moonz. He's a friend of mine here on YouTube, but he just got his first e-bike, and I wanted to go through a few things about the, this is like a really bad version. I don't even know if I want to say that it's bad, because there's so many good parts on this bike that we're going to go through, including the first thing that I want to talk about is what to carry. So this right here is an air pump. Only got one hand here. But if you look there, that's where you would put it on there, and you would pump it by hand, right? And so I just carry that full time, right? The second thing I carry full time is this right here, because you've got like all of these bolts, you know, like, and then you always want to carry this kind of wrench, because your bike may have nuts, okay? All right, now the back wheel here, which this back wheel is not meant for this bicycle, but this back wheel uses this kind where I can just pull this out. I don't want to do it right now. I can just pull this out and twist it, but the front here uses a nut system. So let me run through some more things that that I think are really important. The first is this seat. This seat took me a long time to find the best bicycle seat. So this is YLG. Looks just like this. It's huge, but it's worth it. Now, the next thing, which this right here is really expensive, but this changes your bike riding experience. Like if you thought riding a bicycle was fun, you just put this thing on. So this thing right here is literally like $200, right? But it's a patented system to where when you go over a bump, there's a shock system right there. It's incredible. Okay, so that's also highly recommended. And this company just recently came out with a handlebar shock right here, which I want next. But if you don't have that, then I would get this, which is a Wake, WAKE, handlebar riser, which it is adjustable. And I even still need some more spacers, because as you see, I've got a ½ an inch here that I can raise this up more. So that's the plan. That's the plan, is to raise this up as high as possible. And you'll say, why do you want it as high as possible? Because it makes for a more comfortable ride, right? You don't want your hands really low. You want them a little bit higher. Now, here's my controller. This is just a 20 amp universal controller, and that's how you would type it in. 20 amp universal e-bike controller. Now, where do I put my battery? Well, I have the out plug, which I have changed the out plug to this kind of connector, which if you're not into like electronics or anything, don't worry about that. But the only reason why I did that was because there are a lot of times where you'll connect the battery and there'll be like this spark. So this is an anti-spark connector. How about that? Right? So we're just getting into a lot of details. This is a universal twist throttle. Shows the battery level right there. This is just an on or off, right? And then this universal throttle, these go for like 20 bucks. These go for under 50 bucks, but you know, you can get them for like 15, 20 bucks. And then let's finally get to the front e-bike wheel. So this front e-bike wheel is 1500 watts. 1500 watts, right? Okay. And this front fork is for like off-road mountain biking. It's like really high performance front fork. If anything, like I said, I've just kind of pieced these pieces together, but I do not like this frame. So when you're like, hey, why does it have like no brakes? Well, that's because I don't like this frame. My plan is to get a full suspension frame. You know, the one that has a shock right here, right? So I want to, or also what I'm looking at is maybe even a cruiser frame, right? So I may go with like a cruiser frame or a full suspension frame. I mean, of course, I mean, I really want the full suspension frame. And then I'd have the full suspension seat post, the full suspension frame, and the best. This is a Buklos, Buklos, Buklos front fork. And these are 26-inch wheels. Oh, so this is the best tire. So what tire to get? You're going to get the Velociraptor 2.1. The Velociraptor 2.1. It's got that kind of insignia. It says like WTB. Let's see, what other information can I give you about this tire here? Because this is the best tire. It's got a little number there, WNL1086. Does the other side say anything? And I'd have this exact same tire on the back, but I've been trying out different wheels with. I just went through two different bike frames, but they didn't fit this front fork. So see, a lot of new bicycles have this right here, the circumference of this here is bigger than older bicycles. So older bicycles have like really thin circumference fork posts here, you know, and this newer style is bigger, right? And the frames that I've come across so far, other than this frame, have not fit this, and I wanted to use this, right? So right now I barely ride this bike unless I like just want to go to the store slow and get some groceries. That's what it's got the basket, but this bike has no brakes, and it's really fast and dangerous because it has no brakes. And also because I'm so high up, I want like a different frame. This is believe it or not, this is a 29-inch frame. right? Just to actually show you, so where the brakes, this is what I didn't realize. So being that this is a 29-inch frame, and this is a 26-inch rim, right? So the other tire probably came up like a lot closer to this, and then the brakes, see, the brakes have to hinge in, right? I wish I would have kept them and not thrown them away, but they have to hinge in here, right? So the other bike frame wheel, and the other one was a lot like skinnier. This was like a more of like a racing style frame. So this is completely not the frame for me. I just put on a 26-inch wheel front and back on a 29-inch frame. But this frame, it's so tall. It's so tall, my feet barely touch the ground. Like when I stand next to this thing, like my feet barely touch the ground on this thing. So it's actually like misleading. Like this is actually a very large bicycle. But yeah, we're going to look into a different frame soon, but I wanted to go over a lot of these good parts. So like I said, the fork, that's really good. Like once you put that fork, once you put this fork on any bike, as long as it fits, it's fully adjustable, right? And then you want this thing, but like I said, I want even the spring version. So this right here, I want it. They just came out with a one for up here too. So I want that. And then this seat here, I think this seat was like $50. This is like $200. This is like $20. This is $20. This is like $70. The tire's like $40, but it's the best tire. I'll show you. I think I have it over here too. Right? It's called the WTB Velociraptor 2.1. And then this is my 2,000 watt hub motor. But this is for the rear. This is for a rear wheel. And this right here, this is 500 watts. That's 500 watts. That's 2,000 watts. And then that's 1,500 watts. Right? So if you have any e-bike questions, like about wiring, how to wire it up, how to do anything with the chain, anything with the cassette, anything with brakes, anything with tires, inner tubes, seats, like you name it, bicycle stuff, I can help you out. Oh, this is actually 22 amps. 22 amps. And it says the voltage is for 36 volts, but I'm running 48 through it anyway. Tee-hee. And I've never had a problem. And I remember now asking another e-bike guy if I could run 48 through 36, and they said yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get a different frame, get some brakes, and then, of course, my dream is to have that on the front, the 1,500 watt front setup, and then over there, add the 2,000 watt setup in the back. So then I'd have all-wheel drive, 2 throttles, 2 batteries. It would be a little heavier, but it would be so fast. Holy crap. So like I said, and the one last thing I'd like to say before I close out the video is once you go e-bike, you're not gonna pedal, okay? Now there are some people like Moons who just got the e-bike, and so, you know, he's still pedaling and, you know, testing out the bike for the first time, but once he figures it out, he's just gonna be using the power, right? These things got power, right? So the one final thing I'd like to say is that I actually do want a regular bike. Like I kind of actually miss like a regular pedal bike after now having a few years of e-bikes, right? So I want like a pedal bike, right? A really lightweight, you know, pedal bike. I'd like that. Because, you know, once you go e-bike, you know, it's really hard to want to go back to a pedal bike. But I also now have the Suron, so go look up what a Suron is, and that has no pedals at all. And so just remember, so if this has 1500 watts and that one over there has 2000 watts, well, the Suron has 5000 watts and goes about 50 miles an hour, right? So it's just really important to see, like, you know, what you really want. Because now I almost ride the Suron full time. You know, the Suron has really good brakes, really strong electric motor, you know. So now I almost don't even want a regular smaller e-bike now because I'm riding the Suron full time. I almost just want just a regular bicycle that I pedal. Isn't that interesting? So, you know, and I've had e-bikes now for, I don't know, 5, 10 years? 10 years? All right, everybody, click subscribe and ask me any e-bike questions, any bike questions. I am extremely knowledgeable on bicycle repair and bicycles. Okay, I can fix a bicycle, I can take apart a bicycle, I can put together a bicycle. I almost ask myself all the time if I should just, you know, be a bicycle repair person. But there's just not enough, like, people that always need bicycle repair, and there's not enough money, profit-wise, in bicycle repair. So sadly, that's why bicycle repair is not like $1 million career. But I know everything about it. I'd say I know 95% everything about bicycles. I'm sure there's some new things I could still learn. But make sure to comment if you have any questions about bicycle stuff. I mean, I can literally take this apart in 10 minutes. And look, I've got a little bicycle trailer. Isn't that cute? These are the kind of locks I use. Just a chain and a master lock. Right? Click subscribe.